Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Laura, I'm a hairstylist, and I'm dedicated to giving you all of the best tips and tricks so that you can make every day a good hair day. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do a balayage. Now, if you've watched some of my recent videos, then you know that we've been testing out different methods of highlighting so that we can compare 4 different techniques. So far, we've done teasy lights, air touch highlights, and now today we're gonna do balayage. The last technique we're gonna do is traditional highlights, and then we'll compare all 4 in a final video. Now before we begin, there's a couple things I wanna point out about balayage itself. It's very important to remember that balayage is a technique, not a look. Oftentimes, you can't get from point A to point B with a balayage service, even if your inspo picture says it's a balayage. Balayage is simply a hand-painted technique where foils typically are not used. Now, since foils are not used, balayage will typically give a little bit more of a warmer, sun-kissed look. So if you're wanting a bright, ashy, or cool blonde, balayage might not be the best option for you. This is all dependent on your hair type and your situation. If you have virgin hair, it's going to be a lot more attainable than if you have color treated hair. The next thing I want to point out is that balayage is not done with a traditional lightener. Typically, you'll want to use a clay-based lightener and developer that actually hardens and forms a clay-like consistency over the outer layer of the hair. This shell that the lightener forms will allow the inside to continue processing even though the outside has dried out. This is why it's very important to make sure you're using the right type of lightener if you're performing a balayage service. If you're not, the lightener will likely dry out and stop processing, hindering your results. Now, you have a number of different options to choose from when picking out your balayage lightener. And sometimes I'll even mix a traditional lightener with a balayage lightener so that I can get a little bit better lifting power while still maintaining that hard shell that forms with the balayage lightener. Now, there are additives that you can add into your traditional lightener that will allow your regular lightener to form that balayage shell. Typically, you'll use a little bit higher developer when you're doing a balayage just because it's not going to be heated up inside of foils. And since this mannequin has dark hair that is processed, we're going to go with a 40 volume developer. Some different tools you may use when applying a balayage are a power painter brush. This brush is a lot easier to use than a traditional color brush. This brush is going to be a lot better for actual painting on the hair. You also may want to use your board or paddle, especially if you're fully saturating the ends of the hair. This will come in handy. And finally, instead of using foils, you can opt to use plastic wrap. I like to use plastic wrap in between my sections just to keep things a little bit neat, organized, and hold a little bit of the heat in. You can also use mesh strips, cotton, or just allow the hair to process in open air. Okay, so in our last 2 examples, we lightened the hair all the way through the ends. So we're gonna do the same with the balayage example. Now, the size of the sections that you'll take will really be dependent on the hair type as well as the look you're going for. Keep in mind that if you're wanting to go brighter and lighter, you'll want to take smaller sections. And if you want something more sun-kissed and natural looking, then you can take bigger sections. Now, before you paint the hair, once you have the lightener on the brush, I find it easier to paint the board a little bit. This will smooth the lightener on the brush so that you're not working with globs. You don't want to be painting globs on the hair. You want to work in layering. You're essentially layering the lightener onto the hair, not putting globs onto it. So I'll take a board and I'll begin to paint the board, or sometimes I'll have a glove on and I'll paint the back of my hand with the glove. So it's very important to keep the hair pulled tight when you're applying your lightener. This will ensure that you're getting proper saturation. So you'll hold the hair out and you'll just start to layer on the lightener. If you can see, and I hold this up, we've not fully saturated the back side of the hair. Now, in order to do this, you can hold the hair up and then paint the underside of the section. But depending on what look you're going for, you may not choose to do that. You may choose to only paint one side of the hair and not the other. But for this example, since we want the ends of the hair to be totally saturated, we're gonna do that. We're also gonna take our board, set it down, and paint the hair on the board. This is allowing me to fully saturate the ends of the hair with the lightener. Now you can use any type of plastic wrap for this. I find that traditional kitchen cling wrap is very difficult to work with. So I like to use this from our plastic. It's a little bit easier to work with. Now, something else I want to point out is if you're worried about seeing the harsh lines in the hair, you can combine teasy lights with balayage. You can tease this section and then balayage it. But for the sake of this example, we're not going to do that, just so we can really see the differences between teasy lights and balayage. Again, I'm painting the board just to smooth the lightener on the brush. Now, normally I would keep that paddle in my hands, but I don't want it to be blocking the camera at all, so I'm setting it down between sections so you can see what I'm doing. Typically, when you're working towards the front of the hair, you'll want to create an angle, focusing most of the lightener towards the face and tapering it out as you get further away. I also like to take the brush and paint up towards the root. This gives you a little bit more of a tapered effect and will help you avoid creating any lines in the hair. Now, the term balayage is a French word, and the way it's translated, it really means to sweep or to paint. So that's where this technique has come from, because when you're applying the lightener, you're doing it in sweeping or painting movements. So this is typically where a lot of clients get confused. When you're asking for a balayage, you're asking for a specific technique, not a look. So make sure that you keep this in mind when you're asking for a certain color. It's really better to ask for a specific look and allow your stylist to choose the best method to get there. Now, in reality, I personally don't choose to use balayage that often. More often than not, my clients are wanting a pretty significant bright blonde. So unless somebody is looking for a sun-kissed look that still has a bit of warmth in the hair, I don't normally jump to using balayage. There are some stylists that this is their go-to and this is what they love to do all day long. There's really not one right or wrong way to get to an end result. There are always multiple ways that you can get there, especially considering we all have a different canvas that we're starting with. Now, please excuse my mannequin here. She was actually used as a Halloween decoration, so she is missing a big chunk of hair here, but not to worry, we'll still be able to get the look in. Now, if you'll notice, when I begin painting the hair, I don't always start at the very top. I typically start about halfway down, and then I work my way up. This is to ensure you're not gonna have a blob and you're gonna have a nice seamless blend from where that lightener begins and ends. And if you'll notice, as I lay the hair onto the board, I'm not painting and saturating the entirety of this hair strand. I'm really only doing about halfway down, and that's because we don't want the hair fully saturated all the way up. That way, we're still leaving some of that dark to create the dimension in there. Now, if you can see those sweeping movements that we talked about, I'm not just going in and painting and pulling down. I'm not doing anything bluntly. I'm doing very soft, sweeping movements to create that balayage effect. Now, keep in mind that the more you layer the lightener on, the more lightening power you're gonna have. The less you layer it on, the less lightening power you're gonna have. So if you're just barely tapping and lightly painting up towards the root, it's not going to lighten quite as much. But that's what you're going for, because that's going to help to blend this blonde into the dark. Okay, before we process, I want to point out that just looking at this processing, you may think that this is going to be a bright white blonde just because of how it looks on the hair. Don't let that fool you because that is not the case with balayage. Remember that balayage often produces a sun-kissed look. We're not going for white blonde here. Okay, so now we're going to let this process for 55 minutes or until the lightener has hardened over the hair. When the lightener has hardened, then you know that it's done processing. This is another reason why keeping it in the saran wrap can help you process a little bit brighter because the plastic will help keep the processing going. The hair won't dry out quite as quickly. So if you have fine, already pretty blonde hair that you just want to bump up a little bit, I recommend not using saran wrap so that you don't over-process the hair. But if you have quite a bit of lifting that you need to accomplish, then wrapping the hair in plastic wrap can help you a little bit. All right, guys, so I've just gotten her rinsed. Now, as I mentioned in my previous videos, I did not tone any of these quadrants. I wanted to show what the raw lift of each highlighting technique will produce. I did, however, use Olaplex Purple Shampoo and Conditioner just to neutralize a little bit of that warmth. Okay, so as we can see here, it's a very sun-kissed and blended look. You can see it blends really nicely into that root, and we did not need to use a root smudge or a root shadow at all. It's a little bit warmer of a blonde, and that is the nature of balayage. It really just gives you that sun-kissed brightness that enhances the natural color. All right, guys, so that's gonna be it for this video. If you have any other questions for me on the balayage technique, make sure you leave it for me in the comments. And be sure to subscribe if you wanna make every day a good hair day. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.